Hi everyone, this is Natasha, and this is the first video in my Halloween card series. I thought I would share just some of the different things that we could utilize, obviously for my stash. I did not run out to buy anything new, but I am going to show you a couple of different ways to use some of the same items. So we're started off with a ivory color cardstock from Staples. I think the only one that I have is, the only other one that I have is Craft that I'm using. And there's several cards in the stash. So this tree is the Sizzix Tree Scary. And I don't really see what's scary about the tree except that I just used my favorite black cover stock from Fellows, which is binder cover, and it already has this really cool kind of marbleized texture in it. So that's what I used. I cut this several times and even once in chipboard. And I also used, for this particular card, the Graphic 45, actually I think all of them have except one, Graphic 45 Happy Hauntings, and I used the 8x8 stack. So let me put that aside. The paper I used for this one is the one that has all of the fencing, which I thought, well, how cool would it be to put something on the fence. Now this card is cute rather than creepy, so I used the Stephanie Bernard's Stamps of Life stamp set that has all the owls. Let's see, there are names, I just have to quickly look. This one is called Owls to Love, and I used a couple of the smaller ones, and this one is More Owls to Love. There you go. And they're really cute, and they're great to stamp in different colors as well. I just used black Memento ink on these, and I cut them 3 times and cut them out, or stamped them 3 times and cut them out. So they're in 3 dimensionals, and each one is covered with glossy accents. So I didn't use the entire tree, I just trimmed off the trunk, and then had them sit some on fence and some on the tree. And then I also used a punch from EK Success. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. I should have written it down. I'll try and do that in the future, just to, with Sharpie, write down the name of it so it's easier for me to tell you. But that's the only punch that I was able to find at my local Home Goods when a lot of people were showing them on sale. So just layers, black cover stock, another ivory, and then the pattern paper from Graphic 45. The edge of the punch, also out of the black paper. The black spooky tree. You see all that texture, that rich texture from the cover stocks? Check that out. Stop by your local Staples, Office Max, Office Depot, whatever your local office supply store is, and go down to the aisle that has binding materials, like report covers. That's what that is. And it's a great weight for the paper too. Cuts beautifully. Punch with it. So that's card number 1. So you're getting a bunch of cards all in one video. And then these are a set of 3 similar cards, or at least using the same paper. So on this one I used the back of this page. Let me see if I can see the name of it. This is Man in the Moon side, and I did cut out 1 moon. That's what you see. I used an entire 8x8 plus that tiny little corner. And the other side, and I used on this with the tree on dimensionals. And unfortunately, I only have clear, white dimensionals, and I didn't want them to stand out, which they would, having used dark papers. So I just take my Sharpie and stroke it on the edges of the dimensionals before I adhere them, which makes them black and disappear. You see that? You don't really see them. And then there's a couple of bats. I have 3 bats from the Spellbinder Shape Abilities. And I think it's called bats. Nested bats. So I use the 3 smallest ones. And I ran them through the black cover stock, and then I embossed them as well, so I just flipped them over and embossed them. And if anyone's interested in seeing that, just let me know and I'll do that in one of my videos. So I'll try to have these every couple of days or so, because I lots and lots of Halloween supplies, stamps and die cuts. So I really wanted to utilize this tree, and I left the overhanging branches because I kind of like that. So the moon is on dimensionals and the tree's on dimensionals, and so are the bats. So that's second one. Third one, I used the moon, man in the moon side, and I die cut one tree and then just sliced it on my trimmer down the center and used 1/2 on one card on dimensionals and 1/2 on the other card. So I have 4 cards already. And then this one I think has to be one of my all-time faves. I think because it's so simple yet it's so cute. I die cut the tree in medium weight chipboard and in the black cover stock, glued them together, and then took some of my thread, silver thread. Let me just see who this is by. It's called Blending Filament, metallic, you can see silver. And I just literally wound it around the tree before I even added the dimensionals on the back of it. And then with this really cute itty bitty tiny little Studio G spider punch, which works incredibly well. I was surprised at how well this worked. Punched out a bunch of little spiders. Then used some glitter glue from Dollar Tree, a Halloween pack from last year, in this purple, to add glitter to both the spiders on the tree and the spiders on the paper. And that's it. Just glued the tree onto the 2 layers of cardstock. So I just used craft for this one with a black layer and a craft. And I needed to add heft to the top of the card because, excuse me, because the tree was on chipboard. And I didn't even edge the tree with a black marker like I ordinarily do because I like the way it kind of blends into the background of the craft paper on the top layer. So there you go. That's simple. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that I made. I think all of these I made on Ustream, so I'll include a link to my Ustream. Unfortunately, Internet Explorer now doesn't display chat, so all the girls who were who were joining me had to chat with me via Twitter, which is okay. It's a workaround, but I would really much rather be able to interact with everyone, because that's one of the coolest parts about doing a project on Ustream. So I'll include a link in the description below, and I will start a new playlist for Halloween series 2012, and I'll put a link right there. So as I add new videos, I'll have them there. I will have close-up photographs on my blog along with all the recipes. And when I say recipe, I mean I will list all of the products that I used for that particular card. So if you want to see close-up details, by all means stop by the blog, which will also be included in the description. The link will be in the description below. And as always, if you have any questions or if you have suggestions for future cards, please feel free to add them. And if you have created any cards, or if I've inspired you to create any cards from these examples, I'd love to see them. Do a video response. I love those. You guys don't do enough of them. Don't be shy. There's no failure. It's just sharing. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be all about 3D paper piecing. Thanks for watching, everyone.